Uh, Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Ray Anna Long. I am a judge with the City of Austin Municipal Court. I'm going to give you your rights. I'm going to tell you what you're charged with, what the punishment range is on that charge, and how you can get out of jail. So we're going to go ahead and start with your rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything about the facts of your case. I ask you not to say anything about the facts of your case because any statements you make could be used against you at a later time. So please do not talk about the facts of your case. You have the right to have a lawyer to represent you. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. I'll talk to you individually about that. You also have the right to have a reasonable amount of time with your lawyer to discuss the facts of your case, your options, and how you wish to proceed. Now, if you are being questioned by or talking to law enforcement, such as a police detective or a prosecutor, that's the state's attorney, you have the right to have that lawyer present. If the lawyer is not present, you have the right to ask them to stop until the lawyer can be present. Now, you have the right to not speak to them at all if you don't want to. And you also have the right to stop the conversation or the questioning at any time. That is up to you, and all you need to do is say, I don't want to speak any further. As far as bail will be granted as allowed by law. Now, if you are charged with a felony, and I will tell you if it's a felony or a misdemeanor, this only applies to felonies. If you are charged with a felony, you have the right to what's called an examining trial. With an examining trial, that means that a judge will listen to the evidence and decide whether or not the state has probable cause. You need to speak with your lawyer because your lawyer can answer your individual questions, as well as your lawyer is going to be the one that helps you get it scheduled if that is what, after speaking, you all decide you want to do. So you need to talk to your lawyer about that. It does not apply to misdemeanors. My next point is, if you are not a citizen of the United States, please be aware that certain charges can affect your status and your ability to stay here. And you have a second right if you're not a citizen, and that's the right to request that the embassy or the consulate of your home country be notified that you're in custody. If this applies to you and you want to make that request, let the deputies know as soon as possible because they can get the process going. Now, let's talk about the ways you can get out of jail. One is a cash bond. With a cash bond, that means that someone on your behalf gives the full bail amount to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office does nothing with the money. It sits on deposit. When your case is ended, and it doesn't matter how it's ended, all of the money is returned. That is a cash bond. Now, there's such a thing as a surety bond. This is where basically a bail bondsman will post your bond for you. Now, it's my understanding that the bail bondsman charges a fee. It's some percentage of the bail amount, and it is not refundable, but that for you. Now, it is my understanding that the bail bondsman charges a fee. It's some percentage of the bail amount, and it is not refundable. But that is between you and the bail bondsman. I have nothing to do with that end of it. If you think this is the way you're going to be released, after we're done, you can ask the deputies about using the phone and getting the number for the various bail bondsmen. The last is a personal bond. If your charges qualify, your circumstances qualify, you may be eligible for a personal bond. It does not mean that you are automatically given one. With a personal bond, you are released without having to pay. However, you're telling the court you will make all your court settings. You will follow all your conditions. You'll do everything that's asked of you. If you do not, you run the risk of being rearrested, or if you're rearrested for something else, a personal bond not being available the next time. Okay? If you do not get a personal bond at this point, please just talk to your lawyer. It may be that your lawyer can bring additional information back to the court to answer whatever the issue might be as to your personal bond. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with Mr. Hunter, Larry Hunter. Okay, Mr. Hunter, I need for you to kind of look at me. Mr. Hunter, I have three matters to take up with you. First of all, according to this from 2020, you have an outstanding warrant with the City of Austin Municipal Court for failure to maintain responsibility. I am going to reset that case so that you can take care of it either at the Downtown Community Court or at the City of Austin Municipal Court. They have walk-in times. You can go down there and talk with the prosecutor and try to get it resolved that way. So we're going to reset that. So that warrant is not there. However, you do have two out-of-county warrants that you will need to take care of. They're both out of Dallas County. One is for resisting arrest. That is a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor, fine not to exceed $4,000, a jail term not to exceed 1 year, or a combination of both. Dallas County has stated that your bail is set at $1,000 and it's it has to be a cash bond. The other is a DWI second. That is also a Class A misdemeanor. And that Class A misdemeanor, again, fine of up to $4,000, not to exceed $4,000, jail term not to exceed 1 year, or a combination of both. And Dallas County has set your bond on that one at $1,000 cash, okay? Now, the City of Austin Municipal Court, that's a Class C misdemeanor. It's punishable by a fine of up to $500, but that's something you'll work out with the, when you get to court and talk to the prosecutor. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I mean, it's finished.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you, are you going to hire an attorney or do you have a court-appointed attorney?
I have a court appointed, sir.
Okay. Now, sir, what were you gonna ask me, sir?
Well, he basically was waiting on to talk to you about that first case, 2020. That was basically all it was.
So that's a Class C misdemeanor.
Yeah,
It's punishable by a $500 fine. I'm just going to reset it so that you can go ahead and take care of that on your own. Because they don't appoint lawyers for Class C misdemeanors.
but that be like charge is gone.
No, it just means that there isn't a warrant, that it's being reset for you to take care of it.
But I don't gotta worry about it.
Well, you'll need at some point, I don't know if you're going to bond out of Dallas or how you're going to do it, but you need to contact the municipal court. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, now Dallas has 10 days to come pick you up. So they'll be notified, right? They probably have already been notified that you're here. So they have 10 days to come get you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person is Mr. Diaz.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Diaz, I have that you are charged with a Class A misdemeanor violation of a court protective order. That Class A misdemeanor, a fine not to exceed $4,000, a jail term not to exceed 1 year, or a combination of both. Sir, your bail has been set at $5,000. You must submit to supervision with pretrial services. You are to stay 200 yards away from the complaining witness, and you are to follow the protective order because it's still in effect.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Where there was confusion, but I'm not exactly sure how to go about it, is my old lady and my daughter, they lost their apartment.
Okay.
So I lived with my father and they showed up at my doorstep. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, so sir, talk to your lawyer because, and I was just about getting ready to ask you if you are going to hire one or you're requesting a court
I
appointed
have
attorney.
a court attorney.
Okay. Now, Sir, talk to your lawyer. I mean, if they come to your home, call the police and say, this is my home that they're coming to, close that door. Don't let them in. Don't talk to them. But you need to talk to your lawyer about that because I don't know what is going on here. Okay? You need to talk to your lawyer about, you're saying that they're coming to your home, not
Yes.
you're coming to their home.
I let them in. There was no way I was gonna let them be out in the freezing cold.
Okay, talk to your lawyer. I misunderstood what you were saying. Talk to your lawyer.
Yes.
That's who you need to talk to right away,
Uh,
okay? Mr. Sampson? Who's Mr. Sampson? Okay. Mr. Sampson? You are charged with a state jail felony theft, okay? And it's a state jail felony theft because it appears that you've been previously convicted of theft, two times. Now, that state jail felony theft, a fine not to exceed $10,000, a state jail term of 6 months up to 2 years. Sir, your bail has been set at $10,000. You must submit to supervision with pretrial services. You are to stay 200 yards away from 5,000 Springdale Road here in Austin, Texas. Do you understand, sir? That is the Dollar General store. Please stay away from there. Sir, will you be hiring your own attorney or are you requesting a court-appointed attorney?
I need a quarter attorney,
Okay.
but, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
I'm on the bond, but that is on the case, is that a new case or something?
This case is from September the 14th.
Okay, so,
Okay, and you obviously had some other, other matters, so. Sir, you need to talk with your lawyer about anything having to do with your bond and if you have additional information, this applies to everyone. If you have additional information that you think is helpful to you, please talk to your lawyer and have your lawyer approach the court again.
so. Well, okay, so this made me have 3 cases, right?
Yes, sir, I believe that's right.
Okay, so it's just bond for, so I gotta face the cases.
It appears you already have 3 cases pending, and then this is going to be a 4th.
So when this pop up, it's just pop up.
What, Mr. Sampson?
So this just a new case popped up, I didn't catch no case that.
Yeah. Mr. Sampson, this is a case this is a new case to us. It's from September the 14th, 2023. And it appears that you already have 3 felonies pending. So, thank you, sir. And I'll request a court-appointed attorney for you. Ms. Madrano? Okay, Ms. Madrano, we have 2 matters to take up. One is your you have an out-of-county warrant with Bell County, so we'll contact them immediately. It says that it is an assault family violence. That assault family violence is a Class A misdemeanor. It's punishable by a fine of up to $4,000. Excuse me, a jail term not to exceed 1 year, or it could be a combination of both. Bell County set your bail at $10,000 in that one. You're also charged with a state jail felony theft. That state jail felony theft, a fine not to exceed $10,000, a jail term of state jail of 6 months up to 2 years. Ma'am, your bail has been set at $10,500. You're to stay 200 yards away from 2901 South Capitol, Texas Highway here in Austin, Texas. You're to have no contact with the complaining witness, and you must submit to supervision with pretrial services. Ma'am, will you be hiring your own attorney or are you requesting a court-appointed attorney?
I'm requesting.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And I have one question.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you have to talk to a lawyer? Well, that appointed attorney, do I have to wait for them to reach out to me or?
Your court-appointed attorney will get notified by pretrial services, and they should be the ones who reach out to you. That should be the person who will reach out to you.
And then the personal bond, what's that?
So you weren't approved for a personal bond. You can talk to your attorney about that. And your attorney is gonna have to, you can talk to your attorney about the personal bond here, but you also have a Bell County case, and I don't know how they work in Bell County. Okay? The next person is Mr. Teeler. Okay, Mr. Teeler,
Nobody else should be speaking right now.
Mr. Teeler, I have three matters that we're taking up with, you, okay? The first one is an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. That is a state jail felony. It's punishable by a fine of up to $10,000, a state jail term of 6 months up to 2 years. Sir, your unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, the bail is gonna be set at $7,500 with supervision. Now, you also have a third degree evading arrest. That third degree evading arrest is a fine not to exceed $10,000, a jail term of not more than 10 years nor less than 2 years, or a combination of both. Your bail at that one has been set at 10,000, and you'll have to submit to supervision with pretrial services. Okay, so all your cases are gonna have supervision with pretrial services. In other words, you're going to be meeting or talking or visiting with someone. It's called pretrial services until you get to court. You have to check in with them, okay, and follow whatever rules they want you to follow. Now, you also have a second degree burglary of a habitation. That burglary of a habitation is from December the 5th, 2023. Okay? Now, sir, that burglary of a habitation is a second degree felony. That second degree felony is a fine not to exceed $10,000, a jail term of not more than 20 years nor less than 2 years, or a combination of both. Sir, your bail has been set at $12,000. You can't have any contact with the complaining witness. You're to stay 200 yards away from 9420 Sauer, Sawayer Fay Lane here in Austin, Texas. You're to have no contact with your co-defendant, and you must submit to supervision with pretrial services. Your co-defendant is going to be Cesar Acosta Lopez. Okay? So, sir, will you be hiring your own attorney, or are you requesting a court-appointed attorney? Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
You can percent of how much your bond is, right?
I'm sorry?
You can percent of how much your bond is.
That, I don't know that for a fact. That is between you and your bail bondsman. You have to talk to your bail bondsman about what he's going to charge. I have no control over that. Okay, Mr. Gomez is our last. Lara Gomez, okay.
Thank you.
Administration available on you. Of the court appearance.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you and good luck, everyone.
All in favor? Alright, I got up to give partner 20 minutes earlier to agree to meet. Okay, here's the roster. You need it. You go to 1 and 2. And then-
Oh, okay, thank you. I was close. I knew there was an R in there. Oh, that's good. Okay, sir. Basically, you are charged with a second-degree felony assault, sexual assault. Okay, that's another word for rape, sexual assault. And sir, a second-degree felony is a fine not to exceed $10,000, a jail term of not more than 20 years, nor less than 2 years, or a combination of both. Sir, your bail has been set at $20,000. Your